How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man, and today we are going to go over Artful Dodger. So this is just this week's edition of Calm Convos in regards to Evil Dead the game. If you like this kind of stuff, like, share, subscribe, etc. If you like me just going into these random topics here. So let's get into it. Artful Dodger reduces the stamina cost of dodging, right? So a lot of people at least have one because they have to go into industrial strength and the cooldown tree, and sometimes the seasoned survivor basic. So let's get into it, right? So there's different uses for Artful Dodger, and there's different methods. It's all based off of your preference, right? So if you have one in Artful Dodger, you save some, right? So let's take a look at what exactly do you save. There we go. So you see here I have the stamina bar, and we're like, yeah, we have stamina. That's cool. But how much do we save, right? So let's go into it. Most people have one anyway, so we're just going to compare tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, because once again, most people go to industrial strength. So you're going to have the tier 1 already done, right? So let's say you go into right here, you're gonna go 1, and then that's it, just 1, and then you keep an eye on how much you have left. So you have 1 dodge, and that's it at this tier. But if you go 1 into stamina, you're gonna go dodge, and that's it. 1 dodge, even with 1 invest, right? So that means we need to invest 1 more time, and the sound is actually off in the background. So I'm glad that guy actually pinged this crate here. Such a nice guy, right? So now we have 2. So now we're gonna go right out here. 1, 2. So you have 2 dodges, but it takes you 2 stamina points. So it goes dupe, yep. And then you have that little end there. There we go. Now we can test 2 points. This is 2 points into Artful Dodger. So we're gonna go 1. You still cannot do it a second time. You see that? Dupe. You still can't do it a second time. So now we're gonna go 1 into stamina. It's gonna go 1. You still couldn't immediately do it a second time. You had to rest. And then once you was able to, you reach that bottom there. And now we're gonna put 2 in. And we're gonna go 1, 2. And then you have a little bit left to run, right? So you go 1, 2 in case you have to run. Not bad. And okay. So now we have 3 investment in our Artful Dodger. So I go 1, 2. So with 3 investments, you can immediately dodge twice without investing any pink F. Go to 1, 2. It's not bad. So you can go, for example, 1, 2, pop. And then you can dodge a little bit sooner after that. Not bad. One other thing we can do is invest them into stamina. So we have 1 in stamina now, and 3 in our Artful Dodger. So we go 1, 2. So you see how much that is. That is actually where it was before. Pretty much with 2 invest. So 2 invest and 2 F pretty much gave us with 1 F invest and 3 invested in Artful Dodger. That's a tongueful, but 3 Dodger, 1 F is pretty much brings us to 2 Dodger, 2 F. So if you do 2 F and 3 Dodger, we go 1, 2, and we have plenty left. So it's very interesting because you can do something like Hang on. Something like this, right? So you go 1, 2. Oh, he left. No. Interesting to note. So we can go like this: 1, 2, pop, dodge, and still have stamina to run. So just for certain things like that, that stamina does add up when you're in constant engage with the demon. But one thing to be mindful of is it also depends on your placement, right? So if you have 3 in Artful Dodger, that will allow you to have your 2 dodges off the rip. And then if you max, for example, if you max invest in shield, some warriors will actually try to invest in shield early. So if you max invest in shield, you'll have your 2 dodges still without the investment. So that's something to think about. It's what do you want in terms of investment, right? If you want to go, if you don't really prioritize stamina, which you don't have to, right? If you invest in it. So if your only purpose of investing in stamina is to have your 2 dodges, if you have 3 in Artful Dodger, you start with 2. So that will allow you to go into 5 shield if you want, 4 health, 5 melee. It allows you to invest in certain things in the full earlier, if that's what you want to do. So it's not bad for an early game, especially with an aggressive demon. If you invest 2 in stamina, and if you don't have your melee, health, or shield maxed up as a warrior, especially if the demon is very aggressive, they might actually start costing you based off of the aggression level of the demon. But of course, having the security of the 1, 2 dodges as soon as you enter the game, thanks to your Artful Dodger investment, that can come in handy. So just experiment with these and let me know what you guys like. Like, share, subscribe, etc. if you learn something. And this is how I do things. I go out into the great, wonderful world of solo or of private matches. 1, 2, pop, pop, pop. You can actually do it like that. Pop, jump. So that does 2. Does 2 dodges if I'm not mistaken. And then you dodge back out. So there are some really interesting things that you could do just to figure out, okay, maybe my character, I didn't really invest that much time into learning the different variations of the stamina, and you can just check it out. And that's how I learn. I go into these different modes, and I do implore you, if you're a little bit on the creative or the patient side, to go into these modes and check out different values. There's a lot that you can learn from this. Be safe, stay hydrated, and of course, have a good one.